Welcome to my video of the ancient Roman food. Today we will talk about the differences between classic Rome and how they influence their dining culture. The way they eat and what they eat is going to be very important. So let's begin. Many Romans were poor and couldn't afford the exotic and diverse food enjoyed by the wealthy. Poor people relied mainly on three components of the Mediterranean diet, which are barley, olive oil, and wine, and supplemented it with vegetables and fruit. For the Romans, olive oil accounted for up to one-third of individual annual calories intake. Although no precise figure existed, Roman requirement for olive oil may have exceeded 25 million liters, because the olive and its byproduct were universally employed as food stuffs, ointments, and medication, ligament, and source of energy. Ancient Romans ate three meals during the day: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. In ancient Rome, breakfast included bread and fresh fruit, and because bread was so important to the ancient Rome, they gave bread away to free unemployed Roman people. The upper class Roman might have meat or fish and fresh fruits or vegetables to go with their bread. They did not have sugar, so they used honey to sweeten their food. Lower class Roman would have breakfast on bread with maybe some cheese or olives added. Lunch included cooked meat, ham or salami, hard-boiled eggs, and vegetables. For lunch, the wealthy would eat a meal of bread, salad, olives, cheese, fruit, and nuts, and cold meat or fish left over from the previous night. The poor would manage some leftover with some vegetables, porridge, or bread and cheese. Dinner was the most delicate meal with three courses, including horse devour, the main course, and dessert. At some banquets, Roman would gorge themselves on rich food and then purposely relegated the meal in the vegetarian so that they could keep eating. Roman had a second course of dinner called mesa segunda, or second meal, which was comprised exclusively of desserts such as fruit cake, cheesecake, pudding, sweet egg-based dessert, and honey-laced fruit. Rich people used many exotic spices like cinnamon, pepper, clove, and nutmeg, which were all imported all the way from India. Romans ate mostly vegetables and dined very simply. Plebeians might have a dinner of porridge made of vegetable, or when they could afford it, fish, bread, olives, and wine and meat on occasions. The Romans did not have forks. They did use spoons and knives while eating, and mostly food was eaten using your hands or a spoon. If they were wealthy enough, there would be slaves to do all the cleaning and cooking. Since there was no such thing as forks, they had slaves to cut their food and clean up afterwards. With or without slaves, Romans cut up the food and ate it with their fingers. Romans reclined at a short table instead of sitting. The Colosseum was built of concrete and stone and was the site of most of the gladiators' competition. The Colosseum had a seat for about 45,000 people, but if you were not lucky enough to get a seat, there was also a standing section. When full, and if otherwise, it would hold 70,000 people. In these contests, men fought other men or wild animals. The Romans eagerly went to the Colosseum to watch bloody battles. To the Romans, seeing someone killed in the Colosseum was entertaining. Christianity began in the Roman Empire. Christians refused to worship Roman gods, and that was against the law. Christians met in secret. If discovered, they were arrested and treated as criminals. In spite of the risk, many people converted to Christianity. Things changed for Christians in 13 CE, when Emperor Constantine converted to Christianity and made Christianity legal. In conclusion, the wealthy people had a standard of living that the poor did not have. First of all, because of their wealth, they had access to several ingredients that were not easily accessible to the poor. This meant that the conditions of food in ancient Rome were different, and to be able to access more nutrition elements, you had to gain social class. Nevertheless, bread and citrus was reachable to the common. This helped the poor be part of the Roman community by being able to feed their family and themselves. Therefore, the class in ancient Rome influenced the culture throughout the empire.